Hello friend, welcome back. In our previous video, we successfully created one of the application as an employee, right? And into the employee application area, I have created one of the another file as a URLs file because I want to actually segment it, all that our employee related URLs, I want to save it in our this URL area. So for doing this, first of all, here we have to link it. We have to link our this application with our this URL. That means here. So that is our URL, right? So that is our main URL. So that is our URL pattern. Here I have created one of the about, that is a contact. So now I want to actually link our this URL. So if you want to link it, first of all, into the path area, you have to add another method. You have to include another method as include. Okay, so that is another default one of the method as include. So now with this include, I want to actually include our this application, this URL. So like here I show you, here you have to add that as a path. So our path will be first of all our application name. Okay, so I just name it as application name as an employee. So whatever you want. So right now I want to segment it. I want to segment it with our employee. Okay, with this employee, and then after that I want to include. So with this include method, I want to include our this one, that means that is in our employee folder. Into the employee folder, I have created one of the file as a URLs, right? So now we have to add it. So I just simply add it with a single quote, and then the employee folder. Into the employee folder, I have created one of the file as a URLs. So that is our URLs, right? So now actually I combining it in our main URL area. So that is our employee. I hope it's very much clear to you, and after that make sure you added that comma. Okay, so that is our employee, and then I added our include method, and into the include method then our employee folder. Into the employee folder, that is our URL. So I just simply include it, right? Now I want to work for our, but I just simply copy it. Okay, I copy it, and now I want to create some of the URL for our this employee. That is an employee, that is a URL. So here I just simply paste it. So here we don't need this, I just simply remove it. Okay, and that is also we don't need this include, I just simply remove it. And also from our this application here, they have by default one of the views. Also first of all you have to import it. So our logic will be just like that same. Here I want to actually remove everything. I only want to take one. Okay, I only want to take one. So that is our path. So into the path area, I want to make the things as a for now I make the things as a empty. Okay, that means when it should be as a empty, that means what will be happen, I have already added one of the path as an employee, right? So now our this path, that is actually our mother one, and that is our child, right? So into the child URL area, here automatically when it should be make that things as a home, that means it should be for our this child, our mother URL will be our this employee. Okay friend, I show you, everything will be very much clear to you, don't worry. So into the view area, that means in our path. So into the path area, when it should be as a home. Into the view, that means in our employee. Into the view, here I want to create one of the function. Okay, I just simply create one of the function as a dev, and I just name it as an employee. And to the employee here, as I told you, it's pass one of the parameter as a request. So I just simply pass it, and then the return and the HTTP. So HTTP response. So with this HTTP response here, I want to actually pass some of the string data. So here I want to pass some of the string data as this is the employee page. So this type of one of the string data I want to pass. And also here we have to add our HTTP response, right? So I just simply added as a from, and then our Django. So from to the Django HTTP, and here from here I want to input our HTTP response. So here I have created one of the function as an employee. So now in our child URL, that means in our application URL area, into the view area, I have created our this function. So that means when it should be as empty, it should be directed to our view and into the employee, right? So now I just click as a save all. And now if you want to access our this child, that means here you have to access it with this employee. Now I just click as a refresh. So I didn't run our server. If you open it, you can say I didn't run that server. So if you want to run that server, you have to write down the py or the python and the manage py, manage.py, and then run server. Click as a enter. You can see spelling mistake, that will be as a python, and then the manage.py, and then run server. Click as a enter. Yeah, our server is now running. So now I refresh it. Yeah, you can see it's not perfect. So now I want to access our employee. That means this will be our home. Click as a enter. Yes, now you can see, friend, when I actually pass that as an employee, so now it should be very much clear to you. So that is our path. Into the path area, I just simply loaded our path will be as an employee first of all, and then I include our employee URL. That means that is our child URL, and here I make the things as empty. Okay, and then here I just loaded our views and the employee. That means our employee method. So now into the employee method, I just simply pass some of the return some of the data as this is the employee page, and now you can see it's now showing as this is our employee page. And here if you want to put some of the URL, like here if you want to make the things as a new, okay. So now here we have to do, first of all you have to add that employee, and after that employee you have to add that new. I show you, like I just click as a save all now. And now if you want to access the direct employee, so right now you can see it's now showing as a page not found. So after that here you have to add that new, click as a enter. Yes, you can see it's now perfectly now redirected to our page. That means our perfect message. So that is our employee is default one, that is our child URL, and then our new. Okay, so that's how you can actually visible it. I hope it's very much clear to you. So every our application related URL you can actually add that things like that way. So that will be totally different. So it will help you to manage your all that project. So and then that is our main path. So that will be our every path. That means our employee application related every path I just added with our employee. Okay, and then I just simply include it. I hope it's very much clear to you. So now whatever the URL you want to create for the specific this application, now you can create it. Like here I create new one, and I just name it as a like as a profile. Okay, I just name it as a profile, and then in our view we have to create one of the function. So I just want to create one of the function as a profile. So this type of one of the function I want to create. So now go to our view, that means in our employees, and that is our view. Here I want to create another new application. That means the new function as a div, and I want to create our function name as a profile. It should be pass some of the parameter as a request, and then return, and then HTTP response, right friend? And then I just simply pass some of the text as a this is employee profile. This type of one of the text it should be display. So now if you want to access it, then you have to access it with our employee. That means first of all it should be as an employee, and then we have to access our profile, right? So now I just simply click as a save all, and now refresh it, and now I want to access our profile. Click as a enter. Yeah, you can see it's now perfectly show our this is our employee profile. So friend, I hope everything should be very much clear to you, so that how you actually create some of the URL. So that is our URL mapping, that is our main parent URL, and that is our child URL, right? So now into the child URL, that means in our application area, I have also created another view, and here I have created some of the function. So with this function, I just simply pass some of the HTTP response data. So that is our response data. But for the project, it's not should be like that way, right? So into the project area, we have to load some of the template, right? So how can load some of the template, and how can display the template in particular in our view area? So how can do that work? In our next video, I will show you that things with a live example. So thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.